Shalom, this is Kabari, aka Pops out of GMS Chicago, with another sit down. Before I get started, though, like always, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York. I want to send them honors because they do rule well. To the brethren around the world, pushing his truth uncut, authentic, hearing the good, the bad, and the ugly of the scriptures, correctly breaking down the prophecies and interaction with people on the planet, declaring war on it, this Edomite's kingdom and rulership worldwide. I send salutations. But hopefully, like the hope this is edifying. Aqua, the pure and the true, that's listening, sincerity, and charity. Keep doing so. But for the scorn and scoff of reprobate truth, the Israelites and 17 other nations that want to hold on to this man's kingdom and rulership and the way he thinks, the way he got things set up, you're in the midst of Jacob's trouble, and it's only going to get a whole lot worse. Anyway, I'm going to read this is 2nd Ezra 16 to 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. This is what's going on. You know, it's in your news. People are reporting. Prophecy is happening. The Lord's word is being true. But people want to still claim that the men that are out here pushing this 100% truth don't know what the hell they talking about. For real? Because you can't connect the dots with the word and the news that's being said right there in front of your face. We don't know what we talking about. Okay. Rituals, that mean goods, shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they think themselves to be in a good case. You think you're doing okay, you feel alright. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth. With all the things that you see now, with all this transgenderism and things of this nature going on, you still think things are good on the earth? Okay. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. You don't think there's a big confusion right now? You got the water and the unwatered. Okay, you've got you've got the tiger venom and the untiger venom, and this, that, and the other. All these things are going on. Okay. 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and others that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So this is what's coming. That's what you're in the midst of right now, and this is what's coming. Okay? This, like I said, is only going to get worse. Now I'm gonna give you a newscast to back up what I just said, as far as you think you're in a good case because of the fact that they don't figure out how to change the product. They change the packaging of the product.
The soap to paper towels to pretzels.
Hold on, let me take this off. Hope it'll come through cleaner. Do it this way. Let me just that I don't need to go off. I'm doing a sit down as I get ready for slavery at 1 o'clock in the morning. It does not go.
You might have noticed you're not getting as much as you used to at the grocery store. WCCO's Liz Collin digs into why it's happening and shares some tips that will still save you money if you know what to look for.
Consumer blogs pointed us to the products. Oatmeal packs of 10 cut to 8 for some varieties. Tuna cans from 7 to 5 ounces. And some family cereals slimming down from 19.3 ounces.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, now at 18.8 ounces.
All evidence of what's known as shrinkflation.
What does that even mean?
It's really a way to conceal higher prices.
A marketing professor at the University of St. Thomas, Kim Sobel, says companies have learned how consumers don't like to pay more.
We're very deterred by price increases. We'll switch brands. We focus on cost over quantity, cost over quality.
Unless you have an old box in your cabinet at home to compare, you might not notice.
We check prices every time we shop, but we rarely check weight.
Sobel says the world economy continues to struggle with pandemic woes. And if you haven't noticed price hikes, she expects it to be more pronounced soon. The maker of Huggies diapers and Continental toilet paper announced it will charge 4 to 9% more through 2022. And Procter & Gamble, behind products like Gillette razors and Tide detergent, is also looking at price increases.
So anytime we start slowing down manufacturing and shipping, while in the U.S. demand for products is high, what we're going to see there is supply not being able to meet demand, and that is a surefire way to increase prices.
Sobel traces shrinkflation back to the 70s. Judging by the history books, she says the changes usually stick. Take orange juice that used to come in half gallon.
And that's true. That's correct. Back in the 70s. And me being a person that was of age from the 70s, and this, that, and other, like she said, the things did stick. So when like I said, I reported on this years ago. I went through this years ago. With I give you the first thing I remember doing a sit down on. It was because I was really enthralled. I was in my Scott Peterson hot beef Polish that they were selling, and I think it was selling for like $5 something at the time. Now that's like a $7.99, almost an $8 pack of Polishes. Now I can get it somewhere for like $6.99 or whatever, 2 for $12 or whatever the case it might be. But you see, having tracked that or knowing that, when I noticed when the price started going up on that, and that was some years ago. That's probably about 4 years ago when I noticed that. So they didn't shrink the package on that. They raised the price, and I watched that. I'll give you a perfect example of something else right now. With the food prices, I've got a beef bacon thing that I like, and it was like $6.99. Now it's up to $8.49. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. So, and actually, I take that back. It wasn't the Scott Petersons. The first thing that I noticed was the chocolate chip cookies, that they shrunk the size of the cookie, and then they shrunk the rolls of them, or whatever, the way they set up the rolls. Instead of 2 long rolls, they made it 4 rolls. That way they was able to shrink it a little bit. The packaging 2 ways and whatnot, they shrunk it a little bit, but you really didn't notice it. But like you said, the weight was off, and when I opened up the packaging, the cookies were smaller. I was like, damn, okay, that's how they doing it now. So this is something that I peeped years ago and whatnot, being in this truth and understanding that scripture that I just read. So once I read it and I started seeing it, it made absolute sense. Here we go.
Or 64-ounce containers, or dial soap, and that concave shape. A way to give us less, and in some cases, even charge us more. Breyer's ice cream is another good example. What used to be 64 ounces is down to 48 ounces, and the price not only stayed the same, it went up by 25%. Sobel also believes tracking prices and sizes is key, spotting a practice that shouldn't be a secret.
We'll come to realize that maybe it isn't necessarily devious or sneaky, but necessary for business, necessary to keep providing us the products that we want to be able to use.
Liz Collin, WCCO 4 News.
Our expert says shopping the sales, using coupons and rebates can also help. Buying in bulk can also sometimes work in your favor, but Sobel again says be aware of the weight.
Exactly. So like I said, so this isn't nothing new. It's been around here for a minute now, but it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be...
Got credit card debt? Find a new balance transfer card.
It's going to be more prominent even as this happens. So, like I said, for the elect, it's a joyful thing. Why? Because this Edomite is trying to find ways to get around certain things in the process and still keep people in the dark. But for the elect, we're awake and we see it. Okay? We're awake and we see it. So, you know, as they say, for the people that can't see the falling of Esau's kingdom, you know, that like we've been saying here as of late, is because you probably in the free fall itself. You can't notice the fall because you in the fall. But like I said, for the people that step outside of Egypt per se, in their mindset and looking at it from a distance now, we see the fall. We see it happening. We see how it's going on. So with that, for the elect, don't take it for granted the things that you know and the things that you're seeing. Okay? Because that's telling you that the word of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shah, is in full effect and it is definitely happening. So with that, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh Bashim Shah, Bashim Kodash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York. Again, I said double honors because they do real well. For the brothers around the world pushing this truth uncut, unfiltered, giving the good, the bad, and the ugly of the scriptures, correctly breaking down prophecy and interaction with people and planet, clan wanted. I send salutations, hopefully elect. Again, hope this is edifying for you to be able to see that the word of the Lord is falling into place. It's been falling into place and still falling into place. And the ultimate end is Esau done jumped out, like I said, I was saying yesterday out at the street teaching, you know, we was within sight of the Sears Tower, which is known as the Willis Tower now, and it's like we done watched somebody jump from the top floor, and we could see him clearly coming down, coming down the stories. You know, he's thinking that he's getting ready to achieve what he wants, but when he gets to the bottom, it's just splat like a bug. So don't take it for granted what you can see, because they can't see it. Okay. And stand firm on what it is that you believe that you need to do to make it. Because if that what you think is that you need to give up everything that's in this society to be right with Yahweh Bashim Shai, because it's going to get pushed to that, then okay, everybody's going to get tested. That's part of the promise. Everybody gets tested. So with that, I want to say, like I said, so for the hopeful elect, I hope that's edifying. For the aqua, the pure and the true, that's listening, sincerity, and charity, keep doing so. But for the scorn and scoffing, reprobate, truth-telling Israelites and 17 other nations that are Mr. Jacob's trouble is trying to not notice the free fall of this Edomite society worldwide, and the 17 other nations that are hooked to it. To you all, you're in the midst of Jacob's trouble. It's only going to get worse. So for the first group, Shabbat Shalom, and for the second group, Abba Babal.